everyone. It is Amy Wall. Welcome to my impromptu live video. So I'm coming to you live from beautiful Mendocino, California, which is about 3.5 hours north of San Francisco, California. So if you're tuning in live, let me know where you are watching from. And if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're from too. I'd love to hear. So I'm Amy Wall, like I said, and I'm your mindful beauty guide for every season of your life. I imagine myself as the person that you turn to when you have questions about anything related to skincare or beauty, whether that's inner beauty or outer beauty. So today I was out in my yard and enjoying this beautiful sun, and I just realized, oh no, I need to go put on some sunscreen. Now, I have grown up part-time in Mexico, and I've lived in Hawaii, so I have spent many years under the sun, and I have some real specific ideas about sunscreen, as most of us do. Most of us don't want to use sunscreen, first of all. I think that's the biggest challenge. One second here, I'm going to share this live video real quick to my group, the Inner Circle, which you can join through my website, and I'll let you know more about that soon. Okay, back to sunscreen. So sunscreen, most of us don't want to wear it. Most of us are confused about really if it's good for you, if it's bad for you. I think we hear lots of, hello, who do I have watching? We hear lots of conflicting ideas and arguments. Hi, Laura, about sunscreen. So a little bit of background about me. So I am an award-winning esthetician who has had the honor and pleasure of working for some of the greats in the skincare formulating business. So I know a lot about skincare formulas. I also had hippie parents and grew up on a commune. So I have an upbringing that's more green and holistic than anything you've read on Goop or Mind Body Green. So I am uniquely qualified to talk about the subject, okay? So I want to break it down. So, hi Laura. So there's 3 different types of sunscreens, all right? First type of sunscreen is a chemical sunscreen, and this is an example of a chemical sunscreen. I've taken the name off of it because I am not wanting to promote this line, but it says right here, Daily Ultimate Protection SPF 50. And when we turn it around and we look at the ingredients, we see that it has oxalaate and oxasalate. So those are chemical sunscreens. Anytime you see an avobenzone or a salicylate, that's how you can tell that, hi Alex, you can tell that it is a chemical sunscreen. So in general, I try to stay away from these, and there's a few reasons why. There are several different types of UV rays, and the main 3 are UVA, UVB, and UVC. And really what we're after is a sunscreen that can protect against all 3 of those, and there's more than those, but those are the 3 main ones for all intents and purposes for what I'm talking about today. And we can think of those as UVA equals aging, UVB for burning, and C for cancer. So A and B are the top ones that we are using sunscreens to protect against. And chemical sunscreens, hi Regina, really are best in the fight against B rays. So you put on your sunscreen. I hope you're not doing this, but I hope you put it on with some intention and some love. But you put on your sunscreen and you head out to the beach. You've put maybe a little tiny bit on, and you think, great, this has got an SPF 50. But what you didn't know was that at the lab, the FDA tested this with a shot glass full over the face and reapplied every 2 hours. That's how chemical sunscreens work. None of us know this, and none of us are using the exact same amount of sunscreen. So how can we really say it has an SPF of 50? You'd really need to put quite a bit on, and you need to reapply it every 2 hours. So that's number one issue. Number two is that it's really protecting only against the B rays if it's a purely chemical sunscreen. So B equals burning, but B is going to allow those A, if you're only protecting against the B rays, then the A rays are still coming in there and causing wrinkles, oxidative damage, and pigment. So chemical sunscreens do not protect against pigment. And one of the main reasons why is that chemical sunscreens rely on the heat penetrating the skin to activate the chemical, but it's also the heat that causes the pigment to rise, okay? So that's a lot, but chemical sunscreens equal protecting against B rays, all right? So our second type of sunscreen is a physical sunscreen, and that's the kind that I have manufactured for me. And these are made with zinc and titanium particles. Zinc and titanium are physical blocks. The FDA does not allow us to say sunblock anymore, but nonetheless, these are chalky, reflective, essentially rocks that have been micronized. You want to look for non-nano. We don't need it that small, but we will use micronized zinc and titanium dioxide. And these act like a million tiny little mirrors that reflect the sun back off the skin. So this is really what you want to look for. Let's see. So this one is a tinted sunscreen, and I've got fresh skin. I just did my IM plan, which is my ingredients with intention, my awareness with affirmations, and my mindful massage on my face. And so I'll go ahead and put this on now, and the application actually makes a really, really big difference. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spread it on my fingers like that. This is tinted, which is a bonus, and I'm going to put it around like this. So you can see that there's still a little bit of reflective quality, and that's why it's really handy to have a tinted one, so it mitigates the chalky effects. Okay, this is a big tip. What we want to do now is we want to pat and press this in. We don't want to rub it, and the reason why is because all the little rocks, we need them to spread evenly to create that shield or that mirror that reflects the sun back off. So these do not need to be reapplied as often. However, they still do need to be reapplied if you're going to be out in the sun doing a sport or around the water. But for every day going, you know, in and out of an office or in and out of the car, I think that the mineral sunscreens, the physical sunscreens, are the best bet. Let's see. So another bonus, guess what? Mineral makeup is sunscreen, because mineral makeup is made out of those same particles. And I've just happened to have a little loaded up here. So one of my techniques is that I'm going to layer my protection on. So I've got my physical block, titanium and zinc sun block on, sunscreen, and I've patted and pressed that in. I've let it soak in for a minute, and this particular one that I have is full of growth factors and all sorts of antioxidants too, so it's really, really great for the skin. And then I'm going to put this tinted makeup right on top of it. Now, this is a brand called Illuminare, and I don't mind marketing for them a little bit because I've been using this makeup for a good 15 years straight. No other powdered mineral has ever been able to get me off of it. I'm glad you're enjoying, Alex. That's awesome. So same thing. I want to just kind of spread this in around, and then I'm going to start patting and pressing. A makeup artist term is stippling. So you can see that, you can see this makeup on my skin. Until I really get it in, it's going to be visible. And that's what I want, right? Because now I have a complete shield. And if you're spending any amount of money on professional skincare, you need to have a really kick-ass sunscreen, because you want to protect your investment and you want to keep the oxidative qualities of the sun off of your face. Okay, so there we go. And this is going to go through what I call a bloom period, and that means it's going to kind of settle in and mix with the oils of my skin, and you won't be able to see it as much as you did when I first put it on. But I've got 2 layers of a physical sunscreen on. Okay, so the third type of sunscreen is a hybrid of the 2. A lot of times you see broad spectrum sunscreens, and they're going to have a mix of the chemicals and the titanium and the zinc dioxides. I really like those for vacations and extended periods of time in the sun when you might not have a chance to reapply, and you want to have the protection against the UVA and the UVB. Okay, so this was a liquid mineral, but powdered minerals are the same things, like your bare minerals, and there's many other brands of minerals, but that's the same thing. It's going to be that million tiny little mirrors shield against your face. So what you want to do with powdered minerals, I don't have an example, but you want to make sure you're going around your face at least 5 whole times to get that shield. I mean, that's quite a bit of makeup, but if you're using it as a sunscreen, you need to really move it around. Okay, so I moved this down my neck. And then I wanted to share something else. Back to this chemical sunscreen, I'm going to take a walk with my dogs and possibly go down to the beach. So I am going to use some of this chemical sunscreen, which is non-tinted, on my neck and my chest. I'm going to put it all under here, and that's generally where I use these. And then I use the physical ones on my face. So I think the biggest takeaway that I wanted to give to you is to pat and press your minerals, to look at your ingredients and kind of know if you're using a physical sunscreen or a chemical sunscreen. I think that's important for you just to start to have some awareness around. And then the most important thing is just that you use it. I mean, I'm all about getting your 15 minutes of vitamin D in, but if you're going to be out in the sun for any extended amount of time, please get your sunscreen on. And then, and then you have to reapply it. That's the thing, or otherwise it doesn't work. Hey, Shannon. Great to see you here. So does anyone have any questions? Probably not. It was just a little quickie. What else? So yeah, I think that's it. Sunscreen is a great thing because it can be a protector of all your valuable skincare products that you're putting on. It can act like a shield. It can prevent sun damage. And the most important thing is that we just use it regularly and we reapply. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad, Laura. And you both people on here have my sunscreen, so I hope you both love it. And yeah, that's it. All right. So I will see you soon. Okay. Bye.